Now we're going to carve the second style of face that has the painted eyes, the eyebrows, and the nose and mustache. Now first it would be good to take a look at the profile and see that there are indentations at the top of the nose, and the bottom of the nose. And so when we take our blank, first thing that we're going to do is the grain runs this way, and so we want to carve our face on this surface. And so I mark a center line, and now the bottom of the eyebrows or the top of the eye socket would be about here. We want to leave enough room for the eyebrows, and the bottom of the nose would be, we'll place it here. Now we can either make these cuts with a knife or with a V-tool, and I will first work on this one, cutting at a slight angle down and an angle up to that, and we'll make it deeper. And you can tell if it's straight across by looking at it, and equal depth distance to the side will give you that measurement. So that's about the top of where the eyebrows are. We'll go to the bottom of where the nose is. And now again, it would be good to take a pencil and bring our center line down, center of the nose, and we'll mark where the width of the nose is, about an equal distance. And I will take the knife, and it's important to make a cut straight down, and I will angle it, and I will angle it on the other side, and then I'm going to take out this chip on both sides. Clean it out. Straighten up the top of the eye a little bit, and I want this to taper just a little bit more coming down, so it's not a straight indent. And I'm going to make this line a little bit deeper on the outside and down towards the bottom, so it is shaped a little bit. Little curve to that eyebrow line. Okay, now we want to cut this a little bit deeper at the bottom of the nose on both sides. It's very small cuts, and want it to look symmetrical. Now I'm going to start shaping the nose a little bit, and I'm going to cut a corner off of each side of the nose. I'm going to round the end of the nose just very slightly, and I'm going to take a small chip off the side of the nose at the bottom. Make those two so that they look equal. And now a little bit trickier part, I'm going to go up a little from the bottom of the nose, and I'm going to make a curved cut coming in here on both sides, trying to get them to match. Take out the chip. cut in a little bit deeper for the eye socket. I want this to slope down just a hair. And we have a nose. And we have the socket for the eyes. I'm going to make that a little bit smoother. And try to get the two to match there. Okay. Now let's work on the eyebrows. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 1/4 inch number 9 and right straight above the nose I'm going to cut out a small little U-shape piece, and I'm going to take and clean that chip, and now I'm going to make the eyebrows. And the way that I do that is I use the knife, and I'm going to push it straight in a little bit, and then I'm going to roll it up. And if you have a knife with a narrow blade, you can take and do that rolling cut. Or you just use the point of a knife with a wider blade. And we've got eyebrows cut. Go do the other side, straight in, and roll. And if you want, you can take just a little bit out there to curve the top of the eyebrow. Smooth it out a little bit, and we're set. Now we're going to want the cheeks here to come up the side, and we can do that with either a knife or a V-tool. I prefer the V-tool just because it's a little bit quicker, and cheeks don't have square corners, so we round that and do the other side, and then we're going to look to make sure that they match. And this one is a little bit lower, so we'll take a little bit more off here. Cut with the grain there. I'm going to take a little corner out by the cheek and nose and the top of the mustache, so a little V-cut to give, little V-chip to give some definition there. It's one thing that makes a big difference in the way the carving looks. Now I'm going to use my knife to make a little mark where the center of the mustache will be. And then I'm going to cut an inverted V for the mouth. And I'm going to take that chip out. I don't want the mustache to stick out quite that amount, so I'm going to cut it back a little bit, and then we're going to go back and we're going to recut that mouth. There. Now I can do the bottom of the mustache, mark it with a knife cut, cut up to it. And actually, if you're careful, you kind of form a bottom lip underneath the mouth. Now we're not quite straight, so we got to take a little bit more off of this side. Get it to match. Still a little bit more. needs a little bit more off to match. Let's always try to keep things pretty symmetrical. Now I'm going to take a V-tool, and you could do this with a knife again, and I'm going to curve up the mustache on both sides to that cheek line. And now we'll take a look at things, and we've got a little evening up to do here. Again, we look a little bit big on this side. So we'll take a little bit more off. And we got to get it to curve up a little bit sooner, I think. There. Getting there. A little bit more off the side. And we need to curve this cheek up a little bit to match the other side. Alright. Now we'll clean up a little bit around the face. And we'll take a little bit more off under the mustache and mouth. And do any cleanup that get rid of any fuzzies that are in there. One other little thing that you can do is you can do it with a knife or a V-tool, is you can cut just a slight curve in the underneath the eyebrow for the eye, and I think it makes it a little bit more interesting. It's just a sliver that you take out there that takes and curves it and rounds it a little bit. And there we are. There we have our face ready to paint in the second style.